Welcome to Soul Aligned Manifestation, a gentle space to reconnect with your vision, realign with your energy, and manifest in a way that feels deeply true to you. I'm your host, Alison. Here you'll find grounded guidance and insight to help you bring your dreams to life while nurturing your well-being every step of the way. Hello and welcome back. I'm Alison, your guide on the manifesting journey. Today's topic is something that isn't often discussed when it comes to manifesting, and that is energy economics. It's about understanding the energy we use and receive on a daily basis to bring our desires into reality. I'm really excited to talk about this topic because of how important it is in the manifesting process. And I also want to mention that I'm not a doctor or a licensed health professional, so this insight shouldn't be used as a replacement for professional opinions from these practitioners. The information I go over today may or may not resonate. As always, I invite you to take what resonates and leave the rest. If you're new to manifesting, I just want to remind you what I'm talking about when I say manifesting. So manifesting is the process of turning your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs into real-life experiences. It's based on the idea that what you focus on, consciously or subconsciously, shapes your reality. So you start to align your actions, energy, and mindset to attract those things into your life. It's not just about wishing for something and hoping it appears. It's about getting clear on what you want, shifting any internal blocks or doubts, and taking inspired action to stay emotionally and energetically aligned with your desires. So before I start, what am I talking about when I talk about energy? Energy in simple terms is the invisible force that flows through everything, including you. Just like your phone needs a charge to work, your body and your mind also need energy to think, feel, move, and create. But energy isn't just physical like food or sleep. It's also emotional, mental, and spiritual. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold, it all carries a certain energy or a vibration. Think of how it feels when you walk into a room where people just had an argument. You can feel the tension, even if no one says a word. That's energy. And we all give off energy, and we're constantly affected by the energy around us. So if your energy is low, maybe because of stress, trauma, or self-doubt, it's going to be a lot harder to manifest what you want. On the other hand, when your energy field is large and healthy, you have enough energy at your disposal for manifesting. Think of your energy field as the invisible atmosphere around you that reflects how much energy you have to give and receive. So in short, energy is the unseen power that fuels your life. It shapes how you feel, how you show up, and what you create, whether you're aware of it or not. So what is energy economics? If you think of energy as a currency, just like money, if you don't have enough, you can't purchase the things that you want. In the case of manifesting, if you don't have enough energy, your manifestations won't come to fruition. When you're spending time on manifesting techniques like visualizing or saying affirmations, all of this takes energy. Every single day, we receive energy from source. Some people might refer to source as the universe, the divine, God, spirit, or life force. It's an invisible, all-encompassing force that we're all a part of. And everyone uses their energy differently, depending on their lifestyle, beliefs, and practices. And the way that we use this energy can be automatic and unconscious, more often than not. And energy is not a finite resource. It can become depleted if it's not managed properly. The bottom line is, you won't be able to manifest the desired outcome if you don't have enough energy to do so. When we want to manifest, we need a certain amount of energy to fuel the process. If we don't have enough energy, we only have enough energy to create more of the same, to perpetuate the status quo. A small energy field happens when we're being depleted by current circumstances or habits. Past events, including trauma, can also deplete us energetically if we haven't healed or processed them. It can also happen when we aren't balancing energy depleting activities with activities that build our energy. I know this from personal experience. A little while back, I was doing everything right, so to speak, when it came to manifesting, but I was still feeling pretty stuck and drained, and I wasn't seeing a lot of results. So when I received a reading, I learned what was going on, and that was that I was losing energy in ways that I hadn't realized. One of the biggest factors for me was that I was spending time in online forums that was exposing me to discordant and draining energies. These things might seem small, but energetically, it was significant. Knowing these things was a huge turning point for me, and it helped me make some changes to support me better energetically. I want to go over a categorized breakdown of things that deplete your energy. So first, I'm going to start with energetic and soul level depletion factors that can deplete your energy. And these are deep-rooted causes that drain energy and can include things like soul loss. So soul loss is when a part of your energy or essence disconnects because of something overwhelming like trauma, heartbreak, or a big life shock. It's like when something happens that's too much for you to handle in that moment, a piece of your energy steps back as a way to protect you. You might still function day to day, but you might feel like something's missing and you're not fully yourself, or like you're stuck in patterns that don't feel like you. For example, a child who is publicly shamed in school might have a part of their self-expression shut down in that moment, and years later, they might struggle to speak their truth or feel safe being seen. The good news about soul loss is that the parts of your soul can be gently called back and reintegrated, and soul loss from both past lives and present lives can still affect you. I know some people might not resonate with the idea of past lives, and if that's the case, I invite you to view past lives as symbols to help you understand and heal certain patterns that you're carrying. So, on to the next thing that can be energetically depleting within this category. So, that's living out of alignment with what your soul wants to do. Basically, when you go down a path that your soul doesn't want to do, that your higher self doesn't want you to go down, your soul decreases and shuts down the flow of energy within the body so that you don't pursue it with as much rigor. And so you're not as motivated to do it. It's basically something that your soul or your higher self does to stop you from going down the wrong path. And the next thing is healing modalities that clear present or past life trauma, like past life regression. Just to expand on this, healing modalities are obviously very beneficial and necessary, but the fact of the matter is that many of them can be depleting energetically. When you're processing trauma or shadow work, you're confronting and transmuting dense energy, and it takes a lot of emotional energy to do that, and your system needs time afterward to recalibrate. So while they're necessary to do when manifesting, it's important to be strategic with when to do them so that you have enough energy for manifesting too. In the readings I give you a timeline for this, and that includes how long you should spend building your energy if it's necessary, and when a good time to use a specific healing modality would be as far as your manifesting process goes. I'm not saying that healing modalities are bad by any means, just that timing and balance are important when it comes to manifesting. So now let's talk about emotional and mental stressors that can deplete your energy. So being in fight, flight, or freeze mode. So fight, flight, or freeze is like your body's emergency response system. It's like an internal alarm that goes off when it senses danger. Imagine you're walking in the woods and all of a sudden you see a bear. Even before you think, your body reacts automatically to keep you safe. That's fight, flight, or freeze in action. So the three responses, the first one being fight, that is where you get angry or ready to defend yourself and your body tenses up, your heart races, and you're ready to attack the threat. The second is flight, where you feel panicked and you want to run away. So your legs might get shaky, your breathing speeds up, your body is trying to escape. The third is freeze, where you feel stuck, numb, or like you can't move or speak. Your system kind of shuts down to avoid the danger or not be noticed. And why this matters in everyday life and when it comes to energy economics, because even though we're not running from wild animals anymore, just as an example, our nervous system is still responding to things this way, like stressors at work or relationship conflicts or old trauma being triggered or overwhelm or fear of failure. And when your body is stuck in one of these modes, you're operating from survival and not creation, and it's energetically depleting. This is where nervous system regulation becomes so important, because we're essentially telling our body that it's safe to rest, receive, and create, which shifts us out of survival mode and into a state where manifesting becomes more possible. Simple practices like deep breathing, somatic movement, or grounding with nature can help you bring your system back into balance. These practices might seem small, but over time they have a huge impact on your energetic availability. So the next thing that can be depleting is talking or thinking about past traumas or difficulties. Now, there's times when it's definitely necessary and beneficial to do this. But what I'm saying is that if you continue to do this over time, it's going to deplete you energetically. So other things in this category that can deplete you energetically are emotional stress, responsibilities, and demands that feel impossible, and major life changes, like moving. The next category is relational drains, and these come from interactions or dynamics that are energetically depleting. And this includes being around toxic people or dynamics, one-sided relationships, so a dynamic where one person is investing more energy or where one person wields more control, raising children, especially in the early years, pregnancy and breastfeeding, and long-term caretaking without replenishment. I just want to say that I am a mom of two, and having children brings me so much joy, but there's no denying that it can be very stressful and depleting at times. And so for me, it's necessary to make sure that I'm building in things throughout my day as much as I can that help build my energy too. Okay. The next category is lifestyle and environmental factors. And these are common, often overlooked drains from modern living. This can include working long hours with no breaks, work that doesn't utilize your strengths, long-time uncompleted projects, checking your emails frequently without replying, meaning email where a response is needed but you're not responding, and most social media and online forums. So social media can have a lot of positives, but the fact of the matter is that most places online where a bunch of people gather are going to have discordant energies. I mentioned this is one of the things that was depleting me. So the way that I manage this is by using an app blocker to limit my time on social media. I still go on, I still engage, but I try to be mindful of the content I'm consuming while on social media, and I really limit the amount of time that I'm on it. And I'm especially mindful of the kinds of forums I engage with now. I definitely still look in forums if there's something I need help with because other people's insight and experience can be very helpful, but I really try to avoid forums where there's a lot of gossip and negative talk about other people because these can be especially depleting. So other things in this category that are depleting: long hours in front of screens, frequent flying or a nomadic lifestyle, living in a dirty or cluttered environment, noise pollution. And then there's physical and biological stressors that can be depleting. So that includes lack of sleep, chronic lack of sleep, poor nutrition or processed foods, overeating because digestion uses energy, alcohol and refined sugar, and this depends on how much you're consuming, exposure to mold, toxicants, or EMF, regular blue light exposure at night, pharmaceutical drugs that have mitochondrial impact. And your mitochondria are the tiny power plants inside your cells. They create energy that your body needs to function. When a pharmaceutical drug has a mitochondrial impact, it means the drug might interfere with how well your mitochondria produce energy. And there's lack of money and debt-induced stress and lack of grounding or contact with the earth. Signs that your energy field might be too small and your ability to manifest might be affected include feeling stressed a lot, fatigue, restricted or shallow breathing, low heart rate variability, tight muscles, frequent illness, feeling burnt out, lack of motivation to complete things, and frequently feeling stuck, just to name a few. And keep in mind that the size and nature of what you're trying to manifest often requires a matching energetic capacity. So if you're trying to manifest a soulmate, a new career, and a move all at once, that's going to take a lot more energy than manifesting a free coffee. A fair amount of the clients that I've worked with didn't have enough energy at the time to manifest their intentions. So part of the guidance given in their readings was to focus on building their energy field for a little while before returning to manifesting. And how much energy you need is also going to depend on your current lifestyle. For example, if you don't have a stressful job and you don't have kids, you can probably get away with manifesting with lower energy levels. But if you have a very busy life, you're going to need more energy to manifest. So now let's talk about ways that you can build your energy field. In order to do this, again, you need to have more energy building activities than depleting ones. And this is going to vary with each person because everyone has different lifestyles. A lot of manifesting techniques do build your energy, but if you're manifesting from a place of depletion, I want to mention that this can create importance or attachment around your intentions. In other words, when you put your desires on a pedestal and attach a lot of importance to them materializing. When you place your desires on a pedestal, it can actually push them away further from an energetic perspective because it signals a sense of lack or scarcity. Like you're saying, I need this to feel whole or happy. And the focus on lack creates resistance because the energy of need is very different from the energy of already having something. I'd recommend using techniques that focus on positive energies in a more general way instead of techniques that focus on your specific intentions while you're trying to build your energy field. For example, if you're manifesting a partner, instead of visualizing being with your partner, for example, focus on feeling the underlying energy of what it is you're trying to call in. So let's say that's safety. Focus on bringing the energy of safety into your inner and your outer world while you're building your energy field. And here's some activities that can help build your energy. So these include mind-body practices like mindfulness meditation, manifesting techniques like affirmations and feeling the feeling of already having what you want, guided meditations that focus on positive energies, being mindful of the content you're consuming, self-love practices, chakra clearing, inspirational information, laughter that's genuine and not sarcastic, movement and embodiment practices like walking or light to moderate exercise and yoga, and setting boundaries. Nourishing your body by eating whole foods and nutritious meals and getting good quality sleep will also help build your energy field. And having healthy, nourishing, close interpersonal relationships with minimal or no toxic dynamics also helps. You can do a daily energy check-in too. At the end of each day, check in with your energy levels and ask yourself what felt nourishing and gave you energy today. What felt draining today? If you want to know an exact measurement of how much vital life force energy you have available for manifesting right now, you can book an evolutionary manifesting reading.
This reading is a complete roadmap to manifesting your intentions. In this reading, I will tell you where you're at in your personal growth cycle, the biggest life lessons shaping your experiences, how energetically aligned you are with what you want, any past karma that might be holding you back that you're manifesting according to, if patterns from past lives are affecting you now, if anything is interfering with your energy field, your biggest blind spot when manifesting, the key energetic qualities that you specifically need to focus on, the best manifestation techniques for you out of 15 possible techniques, a channel timeline for you in terms of the modes of conscious creation.
I'll also tell you a measurement of how much energy you need to manifest your intentions, and I'll tell you the exact things in your life that are depleting you and how much time is recommended for you to spend building your energy. I'll also tell you which activities would work best for you to build your energy up to where it needs to be. I get this information by going into your soul records, also known as the Akashic records. And the Akashic records are like an energetic library that holds the story of your soul's journey, past and present. These readings will help take the guesswork out, and you'll get a clear plan and strategy to help bring your desires into fruition.
As far as I know, there is no other reading in the world that offers the level of detail that this reading offers when it comes to a plan for successful manifestation.
Almost every person I've read for has loved the measurement of vital life force energy they've received. They found it very helpful, and they've said they've never been offered something like this in a reading before. If you want to know how much vital life force energy you have at this time, I can tell you this in a manifestation alignment reading. Just know that this reading doesn't include information on where your energy needs to be to manifest your intentions, and it won't tell you what specifically is depleting you. It only includes the vital life force measurement. And if you feel like something is blocking your manifestations, but you're not sure what that is, I do have a free quiz you can take on what your manifesting blocks might be, and I've included a link to all of these in the show notes. So remember, energy is your currency in the manifesting world. The more energy you have and the more wisely you use it, the more successful your manifesting journey will be. I encourage you to evaluate what in your life might be depleting you and to try some of the tips shared today and share your progress or your thoughts on social media. Thank you for tuning in today. Your time and energy are valuable, and it truly means so much that you're here. If this episode resonated, I'd be honored if you could share it with a friend, your community, or on your socials. Keep showing up for your vision, one aligned step at a time.